forget about catching some sleep tonight after watching this video, because Hollywood has had no shortage of terrifying monsters throughout the decades. Here are our picks for the scariest cinematic monsters of all time. Number 10. The Bear. This horror was introduced to us by Alex Garland's highly regarded science fiction horror film, Annihilation. At first glance, it appears to be a normal bear, but the shimmer has caused horrifying mutations that bring nightmares to mind. Bears are already terrifying and strong on their own, but this one has an exposed face and skull, and the strange mutation of a human face on its left side makes it one of the most terrifying reincarnations of any creature ever seen on film. However, the ability to imitate its victims is perhaps this beast's most unsettling and eerie feature. While another adventurer shouts for help, the bear kills and eats one of them earlier in the film. The mutated bear is initially revealed to the audience in a terrifying dream sequence later in the film. Only the explorer's screams and pleas for aid can be heard when the bear roars. The scene's sound editing and mixing are top-notch, adding to the already palpable sense of foreboding presented by the terrible monster on screen. And if you thought the bear was bad, wait till we descend further down this list. Number 9. Death Angels. Ever wondered what the sinister killers in A Quiet Place were called? That's right. Those were the Death Angels. The Death Angels are completely invulnerable due to their massively armored bodies. They are similarly terrifying because of their supersonic hearing, but far less so because of their inability to see. Moreover, the creatures are incredibly powerful and move at lightning speed. To put it bluntly, the Death Angels won't devour you, but they will kill you with a rapid but painful slice if you make the smallest noise. Almost all of the franchise's scariest events can be traced back to the Death Angels. The movie's decision to silence the soundtrack had us on the edge of our seats, but the first time we hear a loud boom, it chills us to the bone. Number 8. The Babadook. The arrival of the Babadook is unsettling and frightening, as anyone who has seen the 2014 horror cult classic The Babadook can attest. The Babadook is the stuff of nightmares, with its milky white face, black eyes, tall top hat, long black coat, and frighteningly long fingers. The fact that the Babadook can only be called upon by reading his book only adds to his creepiness, which, we add, cannot be destroyed. Some of the most disturbing scenes in the film depict the Babadook possessing and haunting women, who then kill their children and commit suicide. There's a scary nursery rhyme that goes along with the terrifying visuals, and it won't leave your brains. Forget about banishing the Babadook, for if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. Number 7. Xenomorph. The Xenomorph, which made its petrifying first appearance in Ridley Scott's 1979 horror masterpiece Alien, has become a legendary figure in horror and science fiction. Because of how frightening this alien is, the Xenomorph has become one of the film's most recognizable horror antagonists. Before making its big screen debut, the Xenomorph initially appeared in a painting by H.R. Geiger called Necronom 4, which was depicted for the first time. With a big slanted skull and a long scorpion-like tail, the up to 8 feet Xenomorphs are terrifying monsters. They possess incredible power and a mouth that can penetrate a human skull with unsettling ease. And while the Xenomorph itself is the stuff of nightmares, we haven't even gotten into how its blood acts like acid, corroding metal and tearing through flesh like it was nothing. There's a good reason why this alien monster has become an urban legend, and there are a few more monsters even scarier coming up in a bit. Number 6. The Entity. Undoubtedly, It Follows is a wonderful example of sophisticated horror. By presenting a new kind of terrible antagonist into the horror genre, The Entity so altered the genre. The Entity acts as a curse carried from one generation to the next by sexual contact. Further, the unfortunate victim of this curse can actually see the Entity. Once that character sees it, they feel an overwhelming sensation of isolation that only adds to the terror of this terrible monster. There is no predetermined appearance for the spirit, who may take the form of a large man, a ghoulish old lady, or even a kid. But typically, the creature will have dark eyes and wear white, which can be a huge clue as to who or where it is. The creature will approach the victim slowly, which is horrifying in and of itself. Also, when the spirit catches you, it will kill in an awful and gruesome way, causing the victim's bones to break in places they were never supposed to go. Number 5. Pennywise.
Time to float.
Many people are scared of clowns, a fear known as coulrophobia, and Pennywise is a prime example of why this is the case. The extraterrestrial interdimensional creature is the very definition of evil, as it preys on the youngsters of Derry, feasting on their terror and bodies. Pennywise can assume any appearance in a child's nightmare, although he prefers to play the part of a clown to attract and frighten them. Both Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård gave memorable, terrifying turns as Pennywise. When it comes down to it, Bill Skarsgård's visceral and transforming act as the legendary horror legend wins out because of how it makes us feel every time he's on the screen and how it makes us dream about this evil clown. Pennywise was already terrible on paper thanks to Stephen King, but add Bill Skarsgård's flawless but eerily unsettling portrayal and you have one of the best and scariest movie monsters of all time.
I used Pennywise as a door opener for all the other things that these kids are scared of.
Number 4. The Alien. The Thing is still regarded as one of the most dramatic sci-fi horror films ever created, largely thanks to the frightening alien that torments and kills the researchers stranded in an Antarctic research outpost. The alien creature is one of the terrifying extraterrestrials in cinema, capable of impersonating any organic species in look, size, mannerisms, and even voice. This resulted in an extremely stressful horror film peppered with huge amounts of paranoia. The mere concept and description of this creature are terrible enough, but combine it with some horrifying special effects from Rob Bottin, a regular collaborator of John Carpenter, and spine-chilling sound design, and you have one of the scariest cinematic monsters of all time.
You too!
Number 3. The Blair Witch. Promoting the film as authentic found footage and naming the actors as deceased or missing after their quest for the Blair Witch was groundbreaking. The Blair Witch Project creates a suspenseful atmosphere by having the witch lurking around every corner and leaving her signature stick figures for Heather, Mike, and Josh to uncover.
Come up here quick! I need to use the CP!
Yo, there's all sorts of shit up here, man.
This is fucking crazy shit.
Still, the audience never actually sees the witch herself. The Blair Witch herself is perhaps one of the scariest movie monsters ever to never be seen by the audience in the Blair Witch Project. If nothing else, the suggestion should make viewers very wary of venturing into the wilderness alone.
I'm scared to close my eyes. I'm scared to open them. I'm gonna die out of here.
Number 2. Motor. David Bruckner's The Ritual is an excellent yet largely overlooked 2017 film. In The Ritual, we follow a group of college students who go on a trip through a remote Swedish forest and rapidly learn that they are being followed. Although the creature is briefly seen while it pursues the crew, audiences don't fully get to see Motor in her entire magnificence until the film's final minutes. Motor, the daughter of Loki in Norse mythology, looks like an elk. To see her in full at the end of The Ritual is both a relief and a horror for viewers who had been on the edge the entire time from only catching glimpses of her in the trees. Number 1. Brundlefly. Because of his status as a precursor to the body horror subgenre, David Cronenberg is responsible for one of cinema's most revulsive creatures. When Seth Brundle tries to teleport himself, things go awry and he begins to transform into a human-fly hybrid he calls a Brundlefly. Seth becomes a fly-like creature and becomes increasingly disturbing and unpleasant to look upon. This monster looks like it came straight out of hell. If you're looking for a terrifying video, look no further than the Brundlefly, Cronenberg's all-out horror opus about a guy who becomes his worst invention. You've probably coiled into your shells due to fear by now. Don't worry, you'll be fine. But in the meantime, go ahead and share with us in the comments which of these monsters won the award for scaring you the hardest. Which others would you add to this list? Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for heart-racing content like this. Thanks for watching.